Hey guys, so before I drop the car back down onto the tires, I thought I'd show you the work that we did on the rear suspension. So we effectively changed the entire rear suspension springs, shocks, mounts, etc. So let me show you. As you can see, the car's currently up on 5 or 6 jack stands, keeping it up. My neighbors love the fact that I've had car up on jacks for 3 weeks, but let's go over here and show you. So as you can see, I'll try and show you here. The car has a leaf spring suspension, so this is the new multi-leaf rear suspension spring. So you can see that it has a number of different leaves. This one has 4. The original is here on the ground. As you can see, it's really rusted, and it's what's called a monoleaf, which means rather than having a number of pieces of steel, it just had this sort of one saggy piece of steel that was kind of rusted out. And as you can see, you know, all the bushings were these really original old rubber crusted bushings. You can see the bolt is still in there because the nut was so rusted on that the only way I could get it off was to cut it with a reciprocating saw and a metal blade. You know, kind of the same deal on the front leaf eye, old rubber bushings, etc. You know, here was the old shock. You know, God knows how old this thing was. As you can see, that's a brand new Coney shock. This is some old, crusty old thing that I don't know how old it is or not. But anyways, so we got rid of the mono-leaf because the multi-leaf is deeper. You have to do this whole conversion kit with these U-bolts that hang over the axle. You've got to route the brake lines over the U-bolts. You got to add these aluminum spacers that add depth to the bottom of the bracket. And then you get these new brackets that get installed under the leaf spring and hold it in place along the rear axle. So that was a big headache, getting all that lined up, getting this shock attached, new shock mounting plates, new shock mounting bolts, brand new shocks, of course, new rubber bump stop, because the old one was original. That is the sort of fail safe if the axle's gonna hit the frame. And then, you know, up here, you know, it's a little hard to see, but you see you've got these shackle bolts. One goes through the top to the frame, and then it hangs down and connects to the bottom part of the leaf spring. And those were the ones that getting the original bolts and nuts out without removing the gas tank was a huge challenge. And also getting the old crusty rubber bushings out of the top mount, the frame, took about a week with all sorts of tools, because I had to push it out with a improvised tool that I made. But there's a rubber bushing in the frame. Now it's a urethane bushing, which is much better, but I had to get it out, which was a nightmare. And then you had to mount it all up, wiggle it all into place, get all the bolts to line up, screw it in everywhere. There's a leaf pocket, oh, sorry, up front. Install the bushings, get the leaf pocket into place here, jiggle it all. It's all very heavy. Get it all in place. Quite an adventure, but pretty cool. So anyways, it's identical on the other side. You can see through. I got another, you can see the U-bolts and the multi-leaf and the shock there, and then also took the time to repaint the inner fender well with some new black paint. Took the trim off the wheel well because I didn't, or the edge of the wheel well because I didn't quite like it, and the front tires are too big to leave it on the fronts, so I had to take it off the fronts, and I don't like it anyway, so I took it off. So anyways, that's what we've done. Pretty cool. I'll try and show you what it looks like when we drop all this down in a few minutes.